Alright, I'm back with another Destiny video, and this is something I haven't really done before, but I wanted to get a little experimental. As we get a little more than halfway through the season here, I wanted to talk about what I consider my goals for the rest of the season and kind of what I'm working on, so you can kind of understand my thought process and how I play Destiny and how I like kind of break things up into specific objectives. I probably could have done this at the beginning of the season, but like as things come out, you don't really know exactly what you want to get done at the start, and you kind of have to see how things unfold. So this is me doing that now that I kind of have accomplished some things but want to get other stuff done before the end of the season. It is a little different this time because we know that the seasonal activities and stuff are not going away, so technically at least some things you miss can be done later on as catch-up, so there's no hard and fast deadline. But when a new season rolls around, obviously we are going to have a whole bunch of new stuff to do that will probably be preoccupying me, so going back to clean stuff up will be a little harder if there's enough new stuff to do. So I have 5 goals here, and these are not like ultra difficult goals or super lofty or anything. It's just kind of my ongoing projects. Number 1 is Conqueror. Regular Conqueror, not Gilded Conqueror. I have not gotten Conqueror before. I just never have really gone for Grandmasters and didn't really feel the need to. They just didn't look like any remote amount of fun. I am motivated this time to the point where at least now there are Adept weapons and Adept mods. I know the current slate of Adept weapons in Nightfalls are not like amazing. Maybe with some different archetype buffs they could be at some point, but I still want to get kind of Adept mods and stuff for as this, there's going to be a lot more Adept weapons in the future, so I think having a good set of Adept mods will be useful. I also have managed to actually get my power up to a reasonable degree this season. I've been like actively attempting to do the pinnacle grind. I'm specifically trying to do this with a team of 2 of my buddies, and they're a little bit behind me in terms of power. They're not, they usually run like 1 character, and it's obviously a lot easier to rank up when you have multiple. So I'm a bit ahead of them, so we're going to miss this week, and we'll have to play catch up once they unlock all of them. But we're going to make that a goal, and we'll see how that goes. I've enjoyed, the 1330s so far to a certain extent, and I think those are fine, so I'm very curious how things will be bumped up in, what are they, 1350? Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but I don't know. You get the strat down, you make the runs, it seems perfectly doable, so that's one of my main kind of normal goals this season. Number 2, I am constantly kind of fishing for multiple god rolls on Battlegrounds weapons because I think these are the most easily farmable weapons in the game right now. Soon enough I will have the hammer, I think as of this week, completely maxed with all the upgrades, so that makes it a little easier to farm. Farming Battlegrounds is still not like the most hyper efficient thing in the world, and I would say I have at least 1 or 2 god rolls for every one of the 6 weapons that exist right now. But now I'm trying to get into the nitty gritty of things, so like I have an Overflow Rampage Extraordinary Rendition, but I also want an Overflow Frenzy because I think that might be better. Or I might have a, I have the auto-loading Lasting Impression Code Duello, but I want that with Impact Casing, which I don't have, which does more damage on direct hit. So like you can kind of fine-tune these drops a little bit, and I don't know if the farming process will be exactly the same for them in the future. I know Battlegrounds are sticking around, but this might be like kind of the best time to farm them. So I'm trying to make the most of it. These are really good weapons. These are some of my favorite weapons, seasonal weapons they've introduced in a very long time. Extraordinary Rendition is a fantastic SMG. I love the rocket launcher. I love the sidearm. The sidearm is I made a whole build around it in one of my old videos. So I've been enjoying going for these god rolls, and I have probably 70-80% of what I want. And if I stop now, I could probably be satisfied. But that's just kind of something I have in the back of my mind. Is something I'm working on. Number 3 is my goal is to get all 3 sets of Trials armor and all the new Trials weapons. So you may notice that my goal is not to go flawless or anything. I'm kind of in a weird situation with that because like I know I could just ask someone for a carry, like either a really talented reader or one of the streamers I know, and I may do that at some point. I kind of just want to do it just to do it because I haven't been flawless once in Osiris. I've been flawless in Trials of the 9, but not Osiris yet. And but like making that a goal is not really, I don't think that's really fair because it's a little bit cheating if I can just, I have this access of pool of players that most people don't have. Other people are trying to win raffles to get carried by Jake or whoever. So like, if I wanted to, I could open that door and I might. But my actual goal, the thing I can just kind of do on my own, is kind of wait for the rotations for all of the armor pieces to come through and farm those, and then wait for the weapons to be at least at the 3-win bounty thing so I can get those. I have Aeneas Hammer, I have Messenger, and I have Arms. That's all I have because Trials has been canceled or has had something bad like Astral Horizon or something I already have, like Astral Horizon every week. So there's only been really 3 chances to get new stuff. I want the sword. I actually want the fusion with that new perk because I really like fusions. I don't actually have the fusion in my pool yet. I just never got it in. So that's something I'm looking for too. Going for the 3 arms across 3 characters was brutal. That was the worst weekend of Trials I've ever had. So player population was low because no one cares about arms. So we were just going against crazy good teams. So I'm not really looking forward to the armor weeks. I think those are going to be annoyingly difficult as compared to Aeneas Hammer week here, where everyone was farming Trials. So the player pool was a lot wider and games were more normal. I had a really good time with that. I already talked about that in a different video. I have a quick draw moving target Aeneas Hammer, which is as good of a PvP roll as I could hope for. It was just blessed by ill physics as a god roll, so I'm going to run with that and not really care about getting more Aeneas Hammers, but I do want all that other stuff, including a chain reaction solo scar. Number 4 is finish the GLKYON. And this is kind of weird because I don't actually know what the end of this is. Right now, I think there's about, I need to look, like 9 or 10 weeks of lore attached to the GLKYON. And every time you get a piece of lore, then you can run it again and open one of the little secret chambers. We also know that this is like a secret mission that involves a lot of story. And like you can go ahead and you can read the lore online and stuff right now. But what we don't know is kind of if this is leading to an ultimate conclusion. And I have a theory that if you unlock all the pieces of lore and are able to open all the data pads, the last data pad is going to open something significant. I think it may open a passage to the Crown of Sorrow, and maybe Callus is there. So my goal is to keep running like Presage at least once a week. I've been doing it at least once a week. I've been doing it for the Pinnacle drop, but I've also just been doing it for the lore. So I've been doing it at least once a week on every character. And I haven't gotten all the caches and stuff yet, but I have been keeping up with the lore. So in a month or so, or whenever this is about to end, I should be ready to see if there is a grand finale for this. I don't know if it's going to be the case where you need to run this 10 individual weeks or not, but that my goal is to do it every week at reset, and just to see what new lore bits I can dig up, and hopefully I can be one of the first people to experience the ending if there is an ending. So that's my personal plan. I don't know if you've already missed a week, if you're a week behind, or how that's going to work, or if there's anything at the end of this at all. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is what I'm currently trying to do, and I've even been running Harbinger. Obviously that's not changing, but that's just for Pinnacles. So I'm running all these kind of random things with Pinnacles, and in an addendum to my Trials goal, I'm also trying to get the full Prophecy armor sets in each character. I have about 3 or 4 pieces on each, but since Transmog is coming next season, I am also trying to get the Prophecy armor from the Dido set, because that is one of the coolest sets in the game that I definitely want to use when Transmog gets here. That's also why I'm trying to get the Trials armor, to be clear, is so I can use it for Transmog when that arrives next season. So planning ahead for fashion is one of my main goals. And finally, my 5th and final goal for this season, the major goal, is to get even a moderately okay Keening. I know everybody is searching for the bottom dollar, the Gambit hand cannon, the 120. I'm trying to get a god roll on that. The next best thing is probably the rocket launcher, Royal Chase? No, that's the other one. Royal Entry, where it's probably the best rocket in the game. If you get the absolute god roll on it, it's just very hard because the drop rate is so low and the perk pool is so large. But my personal goal is the Keening, the Crucible sidearm that I'm sure you have dismantled many copies of. But if you're me or True Vanguard, you really like sidearms and you really like the Keening in particular, when I'm using the Keening for the most part in most of my Crucible and Trials and Iron Banner play, and my roll, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see all the icons, it's my current best roll is literally Slide Shot Vorpal, which is not good at all. Every so often I can surprise someone by bursting them down with a sidearm when they're supering, unless it's a Glacial Titan, in which case it does nothing, but it can be fun to surprise people. I want one that is just remotely okay. I just, the last one I got was like Slide Shot, Sympathetic Arsenal. Like, there are a ton of perks I can roll on these, so I am just hoping for something. I would take like Zen Moment or Rapid Hit or Rampage, or there's a lot, but I have not gotten any good Keating rolls so far, and that is kind of my sought after playlist weapon. So that just requires me to grind a whole lot of Crucible to hopefully get one. Again, I don't care about the Frozen Orbit. I just want a Keating. I will keep grinding until it gets here. We'll see. I think they're going to make some changes to how these playlist weapons drop. I don't know if they're going to increase their drop rate again, but I have a feeling they're going to do stuff like put them in the rank up rewards pool, or put them in the new thing where you get like enhancement cores and upgrade modules and stuff. Like maybe one of those slots is a Keening and a Frozen Orbit or something, so you can at least get one guaranteed drop every time you do a reset. Things like that. That is my guess as to how that's going to be handled. I hope they don't take it out of the pool after a season. They might take out like Stars and Shadow or the old ones at some point, but we'll see. Yeah, those are my 5 goals. I know they're kind of all over the place, and maybe not the most ambitious of goals, but this is just kind of what I'm working on. I would love to hear what you're working on. If you have your own set of goals for the rest of the season, I would love to hear them. So just feel free to comment, and I'll read through them and see if any of them align with mine or not. But all right, you guys take care. Evie, you want to say hi? Yep. Okay. She hasn't been running in the room because she's already here most of the time now, but. And yeah, if you sign up for my newsletter, God Rolls, thank you. I really appreciate that. That has been great. And that has exclusive EV photos only for subscribers. So if that doesn't tempt you, I don't know what will. But yeah, all right. Thanks guys for watching. I will see you next time.